Welcome to Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod. As always, Caleb.
Jeremiah.
We had a packed week of WWE action, a lot of really good matches and really good moments going on. We're going to kick things off as always with Monday Night Raw. We start off with a Logan Paul promo. He would be confronted by Gunther and eventually super kicked by the world champion Jey Uso. What did you make of this Logan Paul promo and how they're integrating not only Gunther but keeping the Jey Uso storyline going?
No, it was really good. It set the tone, helps you, get ready. They've announced, I believe, on Monday or before that was going to main event, Saturday night's main event. So, that's awesome to get that going to kick off Raw. Then you kind of went beyond that. And Gunther, everyone knows the match has been made for June 9th edition of Monday Night Raw. And he's telling Logan Paul, you come out. If you beat Jey, I'm going to take it personally because he's mine to beat. And just kind of threatening Logan Paul. And eventually, like you said, Jey comes up and super kicked and got at least at that moment, got the best of Logan Paul.
Yeah, that he did. Next up, we had the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and JD McDonough pick up a win over AJ Styles and Penta with the help of El Grande Americano. What did you make of this match? And what is El Grande Americano's beef with Penta? It seems like they even really have any face-offs before El Grande keeps costing Penta his matches. What do you think this beef is?
Well, to the beef, I think it's just, Penta came in with all the, big to-do and everything surrounding him as the big Lucha Libre guy, and El Grande kind of wants to make his claim, make his stake as the Lucha Libre legend and get that spotlight on himself. I believe that's the way he is, but Finn told Dom, hey, I'll take care of that Styles problem for you. And so far, Finn's not doing, he lost the one match, yes, but in the tag match, him and JD did pick up a big win, which even though I think they lost to the Viking winners, I still think this has put them in the discussion for tag title wins.
It has to.
2 singles stars, still a big tag team victory.
Yeah. Next up, we had Roxanne Perez qualifying for the Women's Money of the Bank, beating Becky and Natalya. What was your opinion on this match?
Oh, it's just a really good match. Money in Bank qualifiers, like we talked about earlier in the year with the Chamber, qualifiers is always cool. You got these pay-per-view one-on-one matches for the Chamber. Now we're getting all these cool triple threat matches for Money in Bank, and I thought it was really good. And everyone says Lyra cost Becky. Lyra cost Natalya too. By her attacking Becky, it completely threw off Natalya to get hit with pop rocks when she had Becky in the sharpshooter.
Yeah,
so,
maybe Becky would have tapped. Who knows?
Exactly. So if I'm Natalya, I have a beef with Lyra as well. I'm like, hey, you cost me my match just like you cost Becky. But
yeah.
Roxanne, ever the opportunist, huge win. She's officially signed to the Raw roster. We've been speculating for months that she'd be on main roster of Raw because that's where she's made most of her appearances. But huge win, and I think she's going to do great in Money in the Bank.
Next up, we had Sheamus and Grayson Waller. So I do want to get your opinion on the match, but I want to know, what do you think this seems like a slow... Do you think it's a slow start up with Sheamus, try and get him back into it because we haven't seen him in a while? Or what do you think? Do you think he's going to get implemented into a bigger rivalry that we know Sheamus is capable of? You think they're just trying to prep him?
I think so, too. I think right now we're seeing a slow burn with Sheamus, and I want to say the same for Rusev, too, and it's not a knock on anyone. It's just, you just look at the matches and you look at what they do. Like we saw Rusev have a comeback, that big win against Otis, and now he's versus Tozawa, and not a knock on Tozawa. He's a good performer, but we know, Rusev will more than likely win that match. And same with Waller and Fury, not a knock on them. We know what both of them can do. But I just personally think it's time you finally pull the trigger on Fury and Waller against each other. You've teased it so much time now. It's lost its flame. It's picked up a little bit. It's lost that. Maybe you finally do it, make a program out of it. But to answer your question, yes, I think it's a slow burn. I think for both of them, I think eventually going to see them in more prominent roles, more prominent stories as the summer goes.
And speaking to what you just said about the Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, we're starting to hear crowds chant for Austin Theory. So maybe, like you said, it has been a while. It's been teased. Maybe it's finally paying off for teasing because we're hearing crowds get behind Austin Theory when he's not even born wrestling.
Maybe this slow burn is exactly maybe what Philly needs to finally get to that next level that seems like has been out of reach for him, so to speak.
Next up, we're going to a serious note here because we want to wish speedy recovery to Zoe Starks. We saw a horrific knee injury. Still unsure. I don't believe it's been exactly released what knee surgery Zoe did have, but we wish her a speedy recovery. With that said, we saw Rhea Ripley qualify for the women's Money in the Bank. Is Rhea Ripley the odds-on favorites for the women Money in the Bank right now? Is she like number one?
See, that's a tough question. Like you said, we most definitely wish Zoe Stark a speedy recovery. But see, that's a tough question. I mean, we look, but from what they're saying, and I didn't realize this myself, Rhea's never been in a Money in Bank match. She's never been in a Money in Bank ladder match. So with that being said, we know she's a beast. We know how dominant she is. But is Alexa the current favorite? Because Alexa's been Miss Money in the Bank before, and I think she's been in some more afterwards that she hasn't won. But then, again, injury happens unexpectedly, and props to Kyrie and Rhea from changing things on the fly, and they put on an awesome singles match. That was going to be a triple threat match.
Next up, we had our big main event of Raw with WWE Champion main event Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker. There was a lot of interferences. We saw Punk and Sammy. We ended up seeing Logan Paul come out when it was all said and done and planting Jey Uso, leaving him laying. But what'd you make of the match? And then just all the going-ons that came on about and around this match.
Oh, good match. We've seen that why we overcut our title with Braun and Jay before. They have good chemistry together. They always put on a good match. And no, it's a great way, in my opinion, always to build up towards a big pay-per-view or big event. And I mean, they bill Saturday Night's main event as a mini PLE, so to speak. So no, it was great. I mean, you got Raw matches in one segment. I mean, you got the tag team match between Rollins and Breaker against Zayn and Punk, and then you got the world title match with Logan Paul getting the last laugh. And before we move on, I want to ask you about something that happened backstage. What do you think about Roxanne being for Judgment Day on kind of Finn pulling some?
I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool moment. Believe it's going to lead to eventual, because I'm seeing Finn leaving the Judgment Day. It's just looking more and more. It's looking like he's even trying to do things to separate himself from the pack, so to speak, and get away from there. And it's like he's waiting for one of them to say something for him to kind of get out. And I think it's going to lead to Finn and Roxanne versus Liv and Dom, maybe at SummerSlam.
Oh, I agree with that. Most definitely looks like it's leading that way, and that would be a blockbuster SummerSlam match.
Next up, kicking off NXT, we saw Evolve's Sean Legacy win a number one contenders match for the NXT North American Championship, beating Javon Evans and Ashanti Adonis in a triple threat. What do you make of this, giving Evolve's guy, Sean Legacy, a platform in a future NXT minor championship match?
Oh, that's big. I mean, like you say, I haven't caught too much of Evolve, but I mean, he most definitely could go. I mean, that was an awesome match. I thought Javon Evans was going to pick up that victory myself, but
I did too. Javon Evans looked like
Sean Evans, right?
Sean Legacy.
Sean Legacy. Sorry about that, folks. No, I mean, that was an awesome match, high octane, and big chance, big opportunity for Sean Legacy.
Now, real quick, before we jump on to the next segment, he is the number one contender, but he's not getting the next title match. We know that's going to be Ethan Page when he takes on Ricky Saints. So, if your Sean Legacy is very good thing, you get to see this grudge match. These two guys go out and try kill each other. Do you pick up the pieces in a week or two after the match?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like you said, it's a grudge match. These men are going to kill each other. Not just that. I mean, you always do your homework, but now you even get a front row seat to it. You get to chance to see who's going to win, who's going to walk away champion. you get to watch that match and think, I got next. And really just kind of, like you said, watch them kill each other and possibly pick up the scraps. So, no, it's a great opportunity to be in and just see how this whole thing works out for Sean Legacy.
Next up, we had Trick Williams' little rap video, kind of rap concert, so to speak. What'd you make of Trick's Average Joe Hendry song?
That was very fun. I mean, it's awesome you see rivalries and it's cool to every once in a while, do stuff like this and just have kind of fun, be a little bit out of the ordinary with your promos, or instead of matches to do like these segments, these rock concerts. Last thing I could think of, unless something happened more recent, is go back to 2012 and Rock had his concert, John Cena had a rap, and that's the last time I can think of that happening like it did on NXT.
Yeah.
So, no, a very cool moment and a little bit precursor to our main segment as well. So, shout out Trick.
Next up, we had Sean Spears versus Josh Briggs. And this match would go on without interferences from the column, which would lead to Hank and Tank making the save. Then the announcement of a 6-man tag team match that would take place later on in the week at NXT Battleground. But what did you think of the setup? What did you think of the base for Sean Spears' Josh Briggs match?
No, it was a good match. Josh Briggs, we've seen, the tag team picture more recently. He can actually go as a singles compared to Sean Spears. We haven't seen too much action of him since he had lost for the North American Championship. He got the win underhanded, but still a win. And you have a history of, Brooks and Jensen or NXT 2.0 tag team for a couple years. And then, we know Jensen is a part of a Colin. And Hank and Tank, just been very awesome as tag champions and making their presence known, helping Wivo/friend out. So, no, I think it was a pretty cool setup.
Next up, we had Out the Mud. They gave a little backstage promo. Then we got to see them beat some enhancement talent. Do you think this is starting maybe try and build OTM, back up the tag team Lincolns in NXT?
I think so. I think Chase needs Andre Chase, his guys, did not do well in that match. No, I think most definitely does. I mean, let's be honest, they need and we know they can have talent, they need to establish themselves, because you look at the faction as a whole with Jada Parker as she really, shined in that faction and is now on her own. And, she's going to be a big star one day, we've talked about. But this is a chance for them to just show, and it was just vicious, down and dirty, like they say. Out the mugs, that's exactly what they gave, and it was awesome to watch. And Hank and Tank better watch out. Yeah. They look like they've changed things up.
Next up, we saw Miles Bourne over Femi face-to-face. There was some jabs on the mic at each other. Then we would see the LFG winner, the men's side of things, come out to make a statement by taking out Obafemi, not necessarily Miles Bourne, but staring down Miles Bourne after taking out Obafemi. What did you think of that? And is LFG's winner onto possibly a big career in NXT?
Yeah, I think so. What better way to make that impact, make a point, than go after the big dog, the top man of NXT, which is Obafemi. He said he wanted to do some, make an impact. He just didn't want to be backstage. Hey, these are your winners. You'll see them in a few weeks. He said, no, I'm not about that. Then went and, like you said, made an impact. And took out the champ and stared down number contender. You're most definitely going to remember Jasper Troy as NXT.
I think this guy has a big future. I really do. From just seeing him, the fact that he's that strong that he can make Obafemi not look small, but seem small when he's picking him up like this.
Yeah, exactly. He's a big dude. And it's odd seeing Oba in that spot when he is the big dominating individual of NXT.
Next up, we had what I thought was a really good match. We had Lola Vice versus Fallon Henley. It was don't want to say thrown on, but it was made on the night of the show for later on. And then we saw a pretty good back and forth match between these two women.
No, exactly. Both of them just showing what they can do. There's most definitely some tension there between Fatal Influence don't see. I don't know. Right now, JC and Fallon don't see it lasting long between those two. They say Jasmine Nix is injured. She might not have a faction to come back to when she's healthy, unless she can come back and maybe be the mediator between the two. But Lola Vice has been calling next. She's been telling Valcor, I want the shot. And, even Ava, she's, said, Jordan or Valcor, whoever it is, I want the shot. And a big win over former women's North American champion, Fallon Henley.
Yeah, quietly she's picking up win after win as of late. So, yeah, I wonder when she'll come knocking at Valcor's door, like straight up. Right now, she's telling her, hey, I want a shot. But if it kind of keeps getting denied or nothing's being done, how soon until she takes matters in her own hands?
Yeah, exactly, and makes her give her a match.
Yep. Next up, another good match. We had Zarya and Kalani Jordan. If Kalani won, which we've seen her pick up the victory, she would take on So Ruko at NXT Battleground. What'd you think of this match?
Oh, very good match. Kalani was not happy about the last time they faced and got speared through the barricade. And Kalani she used the advantage to her situation. I mean, just great ring awareness. She, threw Zarya at So, and when she was distracted, she just hit So. She rolled her up and got the victory. Any means necessary.
That's true.
And, I mean, that was awesome. And be, set up for your... That was the last match before the main segment, right?
Yes. Next up, we had Joe Hendry's concert. What did you think of Joe Hendry's, I think, amazing song at Trick Williams, but what's your opinion on it?
Oh, no, it was fun. It was very fun. I mean, he goes back, showed a kind of over-the-top moment between him and Carmelo from way back when. I believe it was Loomis or something. They were after Loomis. But, put his head over there and had Trick running off. That was funny. And then he ended up standing tall over Trick. When it was all said and done, Trick came out. Trick took the guitar to the knee, took a standing ovation, and Joe Henry stood tall as NXT went off air.
Very interesting. Leading to, we'll get into it when we get to Battleground, but just announce it now. The main event of an NXT pay-per-view was a TNA World Championship match. That's huge.
That's extremely huge, and it's something that who would have ever thought you'd have seen in WWE? Most definitely not back in Vince McMahon's days.
Yeah.
It's just not how he did things, and Triple H has just really Triple H, TKO, The Rock's just taking a whole different direction, but I mean, and it's working. I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving a smaller company, giving someone else a chance. And I think it benefits both. Especially TNA gets this big platform, but a bunch of NXT young guys and women get to go over with these established veterans and get these chances that will help them in their careers, and especially when they get to on SmackDown. So I think it's
true.
A win-win for everyone involved, myself.
Next up, we started SmackDown with Tiffany Stratton coming out after her huge victory the week prior against Nia Jax. Really good match. She would talk and she would get interrupted by Alexa, eventually Charlotte Flair, then Julia, the women that would compete in the upcoming Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat. But what did you make of this opening segment, this big promo?
No, I mean, I thought it was awesome. I mean, like we said, that was a great main event the week before. She, like we talked about last week, she really picked up a career-defining victory in a grudge match against Nia. She's been on Raw as of late, and then just Bliss has just really made her presence known since coming back. And she's calling her shot. She's already in Money in Bank. She's pretty much telling her she did it once, she'll do it again. Charlotte's first time seeing. Is it? Or is it the second time?
No, second time she had, I think, a promo week prior or sometime.
Yeah, so we just, Charlotte trying to come back and work her way back up to the top. And she had the opportunity.
Yeah. Next up, we saw, like I said, two women in that triple threat. We saw Zelina Vega come out. We had our women's Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat that oddly enough, was won by the least experienced WWE wrestler, not necessarily wrestler, but WWE talent in the match. Julia picks up the win, and she's got Money in the Bank. What'd you make of that match?
Awesome match, right? Really good. And I mean, I don't want to. It's tough to say because, like you said, not experience-wise, but almost in a sense an upset because we know who Charlotte is. The Queen, one of the best women to ever do it. Selena Vega is the current United States champion, and Julia is the newcomer to the Blue Brand. But you've watched her in NXT. She has a storied career in Japan before that. But big opportunity. Her and her former one and Buddy Roxanne both have a huge opportunity. Now there will be opponents once again, but this time in a Money in the Bank ladder match. So it was awesome. I thought Charlotte was going to win, but I was not complaining at all. It was a nice surprise to see this big opportunity for Julia.
It was big win, and talk about Money in the Bank, possible winners of that women's match. I mean, Julia's a dark horse. We've seen her nearly everything she comes to, she wins, or she's right there at the end. I mean, who knows?
No, exactly. I mean, she won the I Win Survivor Challenge, which is an extremely tough and grueling match. So, no, I mean, she could. She most definitely has the quickness, too.
Yeah. Next up, we saw Tommaso Ciampa one-on-one with Chris Sabin. Ciampa would pick up the victory with DIY getting, seems like a new member, Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae.
Hey, I mean, any means necessary, right? Trying to get back on track has not exactly been a great last month for DIY. They've been on the losing end a lot. I mean, pretty much ever since they've lost those tag titles, they haven't really had much momentum. So, it's singles victory, but over the Machine Guns, their rivals, Candice LeRae, proven very valuable asset to DIY. And I mean, that's maybe first time we've seen Candice since Elimination Chamber, or not too shortly after. So it's nice to see her back on TV again. And yeah, I mean, as we know, she's Johnny Gargano's wife, so it makes sense.
It does. It makes all the sense. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest just brawling all over the place. And what did we expect? I mean, we're leading into this huge steel cage match on Saturday night's main event, but just huge brawl.
Yeah, and it's exactly like we were talking about a few weeks ago. We said you needed that big match like this as Galvan. They did the Sin City Street Fight. Drew picked you up. Priest took them both out. Almost took Drew out of commission at Backlash. And a cage match, you stay up, and like you said, what else do we expect? It's not going to be talking. It's not going to be any pleasantries exchanged. These men hate one another. They're going to kill each other in that steel cage, and we'll talk about in a little bit that they did.
Yeah. Next up, we had spoiled over from Chelsea and her Secret Horvis try and get the jump on Zelina Vega backstage, and then we saw B-Fab and Michin helping out, making the save, and it led to a tag team match where you had B-Fab and Michin against ABBA and Piper Niven. What'd you make of this underweighted but pretty good tag team match on SmackDown?
Oh, exactly. Like you said, underweighted. We talk about women's division, so talented, and you do have like people that don't exactly always get the spotlight they deserve, and all four of these women show that they should be featured more and made best of the time they had. And a nice win by B-Fab and Michin.
Yeah, next up, we had JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu pick up, speaking of a nice win over Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. So I asked you about the match, and I have a question about Rey Fenix.
Okay, a very good match so far. JC Mateo, so the record is 2-0. With a win over LA Knight last week. Big win, and now a tag team win, him and Jacob Fatu against, everyone knows Rey Fenix is new to WWE, but, you know what he can do. He's been awesome since he's been there. Jimmy Uso, we know he can do solos, try and get him ahead of his brother, try and persuade him to join him, but just solos one that betrayed him over a year ago and kicked him out. So that's kind of odd, but they beat two brothers of famous tag teams. Part of famous tag teams, I mean.
Yeah, that's true. Now, a question about Ray Phoenix, because this we're going to address the elephant in the room. People say, what did WWE sign him to lose all these matches and not win any important match? But it's not the case. We're building a story here, right? It's not that, hey, he's signed to just lose all these big matches. It's you're building him up as the underdog, as one of the next big luchadors in WWE, and it's not you're not just going to start and win every match. Rey Mysterio's debut in WWE, he lost to Kurt Angle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was his first ever pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
And but what he did in losing was just huge, because John Cena, month or two prior, his debut match lost to Kurt Angle. But it's your point. You're in there with Kurt Angle. So, to your point, it's not, and everyone's going to come in and it's going to be like Goldberg or Oscar and
Jade
stuff like
Cargill.
that. Yeah, Jade Cargill, exactly. It's going to be wins and losses. It's going to be, just getting done, you walk your way up. And Ray Phoenix has the talent, and it's most often going to be that. It's like people's just not patient. And no, they're not burying him. They didn't sign him. He's not going to job. He's not going to get squashed and stuff like that. He's just going through how it goes, up, down, and he's most definitely going to be established. And you've only just seen the very beginning of what great's going to come from Ray Phoenix.
I like that. I like that answer. You laid it out for everyone. I think you did a great job there. Speaking of doing a great job with mic work and skills, we had one of the best to do it. We had a really, really good promo from R-Truth.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We did. I mean, I thought this promo was so good, like you said. And R-Truth's so funny, so over. We talked about last week our opinion on him, and people that were against it, this and that. But that was just such a good promo. Really, just set the pace up, and just how can you not be behind R-Truth after that promo? I mean, just talking about his admiration for John Cena and saying this isn't John Cena, and he's going to get the real John Cena back. He's going to beat the hustle, lurking respect back in him. I mean, that was a great promo by R-Truth, really setting the pace. And just sometimes you forget how good R-Truth really is.
Yeah, very much so. Next up, we saw LA Knight qualify for the Money in the Bank by beating Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. But do you think LA Knight has a shot to walk away as Mr. Money in the Bank?
I really do, and I mean that 100%. I mean, we look at these guys that are so good that's done it before, and it's taken them to the next level. They just didn't get that. I mean, you look at the very first Money in the Bank winner, Edge. Minor title, had flirted with world title matches, never won it. He did it there. Got The Miz for minor title to become WWE champion. You look at Damian Priest a few years ago. It took him from minor championship to world champion. I think LA Knight could be the same category as those guys, just almost there, just not quite. That could be the next level for him. Awesome match. Underhanded a little bit, but hey, he did this. I mean, a win's a win, right? He just took advantage, right place, right time. Aleister would have done the same thing.
A lot to cover here with the SmackDown main event. We had the Street Profits versus Fraxium. There were interferences by DIY, by the Machine Guns, breaking down, and when we thought that was all that we were going to see, we saw the return of the Wyatt Six. I'm just going to let you have the floor.
Well, first off, this tag team match was great. I mean, it really was. This could have been on a pay-per-view. This could have main evented a pay-per-view. The Street Profits and Fraxium, just, keep up going. I don't care how many times these two teams lost. Great match. Yes, influence, and everyone's waited. It's been since December, and, just a bunch of people just saying a bunch of rumors, this and that. But the Wyatts came back, and I believe, in my opinion, it's one of the most awesome things that this incarnation of the Wyatts have done. And the other stuff has been good, but with this, you just saw, reminiscent of the original Wyatt family. They're just destroying anyone. It don't matter face, it don't matter who. They came, they took everyone out. No one was left standing except for the Wyatts. Nikki even got Candice.
That's true.
Who happened to be out there. And just great moment. the crowd went crazy. I mean,
We saw the Cake and the Candle tribute to Bray Wyatt.
yeah, awesome moment. It would have been Bray's 38th birthday, I believe. We always, send our well wishes and prayers to his family, his kids, everyone, his loved ones, friends. Bray was such a awesome performer. One of our favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As teenagers, we grew up watching him from teenagers on, and so creative, so unique. Most definitely has a spot in the Hall of Fame whenever it's ready for him. And but this is a great tribute where to keep his legacy alive, where he would have wanted his brother, one of his best friends, and Eric Rowan, have been helping guys out like Nikki Cross and Joe and Dexter, because people say that he'd always give advice and be that person to help out the people that weren't sure and help out the younger people. So I think that's a great way to honor his memory, and they did it great. Like, I can't wait to see what happens this upcoming SmackDown. What's next for Wyatt's and all those tag teams. But like we said before, the chaos, the Profits and Fraxium burned the house down. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of burning the house down, tag team match, we had our Saturday night's main event opener with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. If that's not enough for you, we got the surprise of Bronson Reed joining Paul Heyman's new, could almost say, dangerous alliance.
Yeah, I mean, again, that shows you how big of a show this is and how big they build these shows when you have that star power kicking you off. Awesome match. Like I said, I did not see that coming. Bronson Reed's were torn and sided with a man he was rivaling before he got injured. Braun Breaker most definitely does not seem to be in on the plan, as he was ready to attack Bronson Reed himself.
Paul told him no.
Yeah. So apparently decisions are made from the top.
Yeah.
But then the embrace between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, and just, man, it's Rollins in these explosive powerhouses is really going to be hard for anyone to stop. But yeah, great way to kick off the show.
And it makes you look forward to seeing what's going to happen on Raw. What's the reasoning behind them going out and getting Bronson Reed?
Exactly. Is Bronson Reed the last one? Are we looking to add more? Are we looking to expand? Yeah, that's a great point. But yeah, talk about the big guns.
Next up, we had and it wasn't a bad match. I'm not going to say that by any means possible, but there was a few mess ups. Zelina defending a U.S. championship against Chelsea Green. She got caught up on the ropes. She probably should have not finished the 6 or 9, but she did with one knee. Ended up busting Chelsea Green's nose. We don't know if it broke it or just busted it. But I don't know, maybe the match was thrown together last minute because it wasn't announced till Friday. I don't know, but it just seems like something was off with the match, but Zelina picked up the victory.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it was just rushed together. Like you said, it was just announced Friday night. Everything else had been planned for at least over a week. I don't think they gave them really a whole lot of time either, so just tried to cram in there real quick. Unfortunately, accidents happen, like we talked about with Zoe, and we just wish Chelsea a speedy recovery. No word, but I most definitely think it was a broken nose myself, just because it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, blood was coming out.
But congrats Chelsea. She went through, finished the match.
Yeah.
Took the
code red off the top.
Off the top.
Super code red.
So, yeah, the match had its botches and stuff in there, but still a awesome finish. And I don't blame anyone. I just think it was just thrown together. I don't think they really had enough time to really tell the story they wanted to tell. And sometimes that happens, unfortunately. But like we said, we wish Chelsea the best, and Zelina's still United States champion.
Yep. Next up, we had our WWE Undisputed Champion, not a title match, but he defeated R-Truth with a low blow. he low blowed R-Truth. Like first off, why do you low blow R-Truth? But second off, did he need the underhanded tactics for R-Truth? We know who John Cena is. We know R-Truth looks up to John Cena, as he says. And did you really need to low blow him?
No, that was not necessarily all John Cena. Most definitely, Hill, soulless, whatever you want to say, acting even lied to R-Truth, acting like he's almost saw the light. That was just completely unnecessary, but that wasn't enough for John. He had to jump Truth again after the match. So, John Cena won. Truth tried his best. He hit John Cena with all of his own moves.
He did.
Even giving him an AA. He came out dressed like John Cena.
John Cena's music?
Yeah.
R-Truth
cool. Tried. It was. John Cena just very underhanded, very unnecessary, but non-title match, but he still, he was going to be champion, but still, he won. Not even giving Truth a chance to possibly get on a title match.
Except we have what was one of the best matches of the week by far, and just a brutal match. We had the steel cage match, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest.
Yeah, this lived up to everything you expected it to be. Great match. Great blow-off. Rivalry almost definitely seems like it's over for now, but Priest went to the concerto, something that we haven't seen used since Edge has left WWE.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen the NWE used, I should say, because he used it on the Judgment Day. They used it on him, but we hadn't seen it in almost 2-3 years. Priest brought that back, put the final nail in Drew's coffin, and walked out the cage door, much to the dismay of Governor Jesse Ventura, who just, old school Hill, old school, just how he did that. But see what's next for Priest. And according to reports, they think Drew's going to be gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's why, at least like I said, that rivalry's over for now. We know Drew holds a grudge, so when he comes back, we can't promise Priest is safe.
Next up, we had our main event. Jey Uso defending his title against Logan Paul. We would see John Cena, as he said early on in the night, if Logan Paul wins, he's the champion. Cena walks away as the champion. Your champion's a YouTuber, as John Cena would say, a social media guy. Cena did his job. He ruined WWE, ruined the championship scene. He came out and he tried to do that. He tried to give Logan Paul the match. We would see the return of Cody Rhodes, first time since WrestleMania. So much to say about this match. What do you have to say about it?
No, it was. Before all the interference, it was a really good match. The build-up, we've been seeing it. Jay and Logan both delivered. It was just an awesome way. Again, like we said, they really build this show. And in my opinion, top to bottom, like we said, even with a little, blemishes in the women's United States title match, I still have to say I think this was the best Saturday Night's main event since they brought it back, in my opinion. And the way it was just huge how they ended it. Cody evened the odds. John, like you said, John tried. Cody, made the save. Jay would eventually pick up the win, retain the title over Logan Paul. And then Cody challenge for a big tag team match.
That's going to be a good one at Money in the Bank. John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso.
Yes, but does Logan Paul realize that John Cena gave him a backhanded insult? He went up with a man that said, if I leave the last world champion and the YouTube was your world champion,
it was wrestling. Yeah,
is Logan Paul going to comment on this? Is he aware?
But does Logan Paul even care? Does he care as long as it puts the title in his hands? That's the question you have to ask.
That's true. And he gets teamed up with John Cena.
He does.
Someone he's admittedly looked up to as well.
It's big.
And another thing I just want to point out, we don't know how the match order is going to go at Money in the Bank, but safest tag team match, main events Money in the Bank. If you have a men's Money in the Bank, when you have both world champions
in this
in
match,
the main event on opposing teams, that opens up the door that you have your choice of world champions you cash in on.
You may have world champion versus world champion, and one of them may walk out not even a world champion, and that's insane to say without the title being on the line.
Yeah, exactly. So Money in Bank is most definitely going to be can't miss.
Yep. Next up, we had the NXT Battleground event, and we start off with an amazing match. You had the NXT Women's North American Champion Sol Ruco defend her title against Kalani Jordan. I mean, what a match.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I believe it was Kalani's first defense with it was against Sol Ruco a year or so ago, and then just, this full circle moment, and great way kick off a show, really setting the pace for the night. Both women are so good, so talented, and Sol Ruca's first successful title defense was against Kalani Jordan. Like I said, really full circle moment there. But I don't know if Kalani's done just yet. I mean, she gave it all, but it was not enough.
Next up, we had the NXT Tag Champions teaming up with Josh Briggs to take on Vakalin. Pretty good 6-man tag match here. We would also see Vakalin try to get the jump after their loss. And we would see Inamura return Josh Briggs' buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. Like he said, he was, had to go back to Japan. We thought he was gone at least for the time being. Maybe he has signed an NXT contract. We don't know, but he came. He helped out his buddy, helped out Hank and Tank. I don't think it's far from over yet, but makes you realize right now that's 4 against 3 men's wise. Is there another Colin member in the shadows?
Could be looking around. You're right. That's interesting. Or how about this? Right now they're on the same page. What about when Briggs and Inamura want to take titles again?
Yeah, that's true. Things? Yeah, right. We're helping them out, but we know they want to take titles. Yeah. We know that's the goal. We know Briggs feels like he let him down because they did win the tag titles. So there's a bunch of variables in this
interesting story. Speaking of an interesting story, we saw Tony D and Shannon Stacks wins on this next match. Seems like Tony D had him. He was in his sights. The match was over, but we saw Luca Corsafino come out, and it's just like Tony D just was like dead locked on him, and it ended up costing him the match with a low blow from Stacks. But like, what is this about?
I don't know. That's an extremely good question because Luca Corsafino did not do anything. He just stood there. He didn't help Tony. He didn't help Stacks. He just stood there. He even went after the match to hug Tony, and Tony
pushed him away.
Yeah. So I don't know. What is his reasons? Is he really for Stacks? We don't know.
And let me throw this out at you: is Stacks right? Is Tony D all about himself? Did he not say that? He said everything that Tony D has the family do, benefits Tony D somehow. Corsafino comes out in a match, and Tony D was giving away a win, and because it wasn't about Tony D could stop looking at him, and it cost him the match.
I don't know. That's a great point. And Stacks, I mean, huge win.
It was.
Most definitely seems now he's going in his own direction. New music, new everything. And it was a good match.
It was. Back and forth, very good.
And just be very interested to see where this goes. I don't think it's over just yet, but it'll be great to see where all these men go from here.
Possibly the best match of the night was up next. We had Stephanie Valcour defend her NXT Women's Championship against Jordan Grace. What do you have to say about this match?
Like you said, it most definitely could have been the match of the night. Great match, great back and forth. A few times I thought maybe the title was going to change. Even before Stephanie won, you thought she won a few other times, but she ended up going, breaking out a move she normally don't do, and it got the job done. But again, great match. And what's next for Jordan Grace? It seems to be she can't do it. She can't win the big one. She keeps coming up short. Is she going to move on something else, or is it going to get to her possibly? We're going to see a heel turn.
Even, I just want to throw this out there. They said on commentary a year ago was when she challenged for Roxanne for first time for the championship, and she couldn't get it done, as you mentioned.
That's gonna get to her. I don't care what anyone says. That's going to be in her head. That's most definitely going to affect Jordan Grace going forward and her outlook on things. Is she going to stay in the next year? Do we possibly see rumors of a draft coming up. Do we see him maybe going Raw or SmackDown?
Now, you talked to me about this upcoming match earlier. You talked about how this match surprised you, so I'm just going to save a match and I'm just going to let you go. Say whatever you want about it. But you were impressed with it. NXT champion Obafemi retained his title against Miles Bourne.
Yeah, I really was. I mean, and shout out Miles Bourne. He brought the fight. He took it to, the high levels he took it to. He had Oba on the ground. He made Oba work for it. It was not an easy match. It was a very good, very back and forth match. He held his own until it was too much, and Oba won that match. But I was really surprised, and it's not like I was born at all. It's just he's a tag team competitor. This is a really big opportunity, world championship match. But he showed he belongs in the main event and showed he could hang in there with Oba. But in the end, Oba was just too much, as he's been for the roster.
Yeah.
But no, awesome match. Very nice surprise.
Speaking of awesome match, awesome moment here. Surprising moment. Next up, we had Trick Williams win the TNA, yes, I said it, TNA World Championship in the NXT Battleground main event by defeating Joe Hendry.
This was just huge. Everybody kept saying game changing. It was. First ever time the TNA World Championship was defended on WWE pay-per-view, on a WWE PLE. And now, first ever time that a currently signed WWE superstar is TNA World Champion. We've
That's
seen a lot
crazy.
of former, WWE
Yes.
superstars be TNA World Champion. But now he is currently on the WWE roster in NXT, and this could be the biggest run of Trick's career. I mean, this could be bigger than the NXT Championship, because that is a big accomplishment itself. I'm not saying it's not, but you are the first. You just made history now. This was something that Trick will always be remembered as. Trick will always be the first ever WWE signed superstar to hold the TNA World Championship, winning it on a WWE PLE. That's huge. Joe Hendry did a great job. Just this match had just that big time feel to it. Both men did great. We saw the build up to it. Joe Hendry got to make history as well. No other TNA champions ever defended it on a main event of a WWE pay-per-view, and that's nothing. They got to main event. So no, great match, great moment, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
I'm with you on that. Now let's go into you have our MVP and our match of the week.
Great week, action-packed week. So this was a very tough decision, but we will start with Raw. We will go the women's Money in the Bank qualifier between Roxanne, Becky, Natalya. We will go the main event between Jay and Braun. On NXT, we will go Lola, Fallon Henley. And we will go Kalani, Zarya. Two really good matches. Then on SmackDown, we will go that triple threat match between Julia, Charlotte, Zelina. We'll go over men's between LA Knight, Alistair Shinsuke. We'll go over tag team main event. All awesome matches on tonight's main event. We will go over opening tag match. We will go over steel cage match. We will go over main event, Jay and Logan. Just like I said, just everything really stood out. NXT, we will go with Stephanie Jordan. We will go with Oba Miles. We will go Trick and Joe Hendry. Great week of action. This was very hard to just pick just one. But I have to go with Stephanie and Jordan Grace. What a week full of action. I believe they stood out, really tore the house down. And just awesome match. Now for the MVP, this is tough, and it's kind of like maybe a co-MVP thing, but we just talked about history. I have to give it to both Joe Hendry and Trick Williams for the build-up on NXT and the match itself, for both making history. Both men, like we said, he defended the TNA title. He won the TNA title. a historic thing that, I mean, you even go 2 years ago and you have said, "Oh, they're going to do this on the next year." This everyone would have said you're crazy. That's not possible. That's not going to work. Especially if you went back to Vince McMahon's regime, and it was just a historical moment, great moment, and I think for both men. So, Joe Hendry and Trick, I have to give co-MVP to.
Ooh, I like it. A lot of NXT talk. We have NXT Battleground, so I'm going to go throwback NXT match from 2020, August of 2020. This match was 35 minutes. Amazing match in my opinion. I know you liked it too, because we talked about when it happened. I'm going the empty arena Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa match.
Oh, that was a fun match. That was
a match nobody even talks about now.
No, and it was a pandemic, a cinematic match. It set up your whole NXT programming.
It did.
The rest of the year was based on that match, based on Candice's heel torn, everything.
Yeah.
It just set up the way and everything. That was it is a forgotten match. Do yourself a favor and find that match.
Yep, it's NXT August 4th in 2020. So if you find the NXT, it's the main event. Like I said, 35 minutes long. It really is. It's a classic. It's fun. It's a fun watch. We want to thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you guys next week.